You're probably not aware at this point, but there is a problem that comes up when you try and deal with temporary files. Now, it's not an immediately obvious problem, but let's have a look at it. Now, let's just put the following very simple line into a shell script. Take any old program, in this case who, and send the results to a file called who results in the temp directory. Now, what's wrong with doing that? You're not going to get an error message on that command line. That command line is going to run perfectly well, but there is an inherent problem with using this particular technique. And what you might want to do is pause and have a think about it. Pause the video at this point, have a bit of a think about it. And I'll give you a hint if you're having trouble. And what if this was a very commonly used script? That's your hint. So perhaps again, pause the video and have a bit more of a think about that. Okay, did you come up with an answer? Well, here's the problem. There actually may be many people running the script at the same time, in which case they'd all be running the same line of code, which means that several people would be trying to write their details, whatever those details happen to be, to a file in the temp directory called who results. And somebody else might be deleting the file because the shell script may go on and delete the file a bit later on, so someone may be deleting the file while the other person has just written to it, and well, all sorts of errors can come up. As you can see, we might have several people all trying to deal with the same data and all thinking that it's different data. So what's the answer to this? How can we actually come up with a name for our temporary file that is guaranteed to be unique to this instance of the script that's running? This is a tricky one. And I don't expect you to know the answer, but you might like to have a bit of a think about it. Is there a name you could possibly use that would be different every time the script is run? So perhaps again, pause the video and have a bit of a think about that. Alright, let's have a look at the answer. The secret is to use the $$ variable. And $$ is another one of those clever little variables that we've got at our disposal, like $question mark and $hash and $star and so forth. This contains the process ID of the current shell, which in fact in this case would be the shell that's running the script. So if you think about it, that completely solves the problem, because you can use $$ as the name of the temporary file, or at least part of the name of the temporary file. You can append a bit of text on the end of the $, or put a bit before it if you like as well. So it might look something like this. It's very common to use the actual name of the script as part of the temporary file name, just so that you know where the temporary file came from, and then maybe put a $$ on the end. So you might have the actual file name might end up being myscript.12345, and when the next person runs it, it would be myscript.12346, and so on. And if you think about it, that does indeed completely solve the problem, because there's no way that the same process could be running the script twice simultaneously. So that's pretty much all I want to say about that. You can run that up in a little test script yourself if you want and test it, but it's very simple. It's just a matter of knowing the secret. And you know it now, so we'll move on.